You already know more than you think. You just don't know how to read the signs yet, because every person leaves clues, and Nietzsche's 18 psychological truths can teach you how to notice them and understand what they really mean. This is a skill no one ever teaches you, but once you see it, you can never unsee it. This video isn't just a quick list or surface-level advice. It's a complete breakdown divided into 3 powerful parts, each building on the last. If you skip ahead, you'll miss the deeper meaning that makes this work. So stay with me, because by the end of these 3 parts, you won't just understand other people, you'll understand yourself in ways you never expected. Part 1. The masks people wear from a young age. We're trained to trust what people say. Words are our currency, but Nietzsche warned us not to be fooled by language, because people rarely speak from pure truth. They speak from survival, from ego, from fear. The surface of someone's personality is not who they truly are. It's their armor. The person who seems overly kind may not actually be kind. They might simply be terrified of rejection. The one who seems strong may be quietly falling apart underneath, hoping no one notices. And the most deceptive part of human nature is this: most people don't even realize they're doing it. They are actors in a play they didn't write. Their smiles, opinions, and tone of voice were shaped by whatever once kept them safe. This is why most people aren't hiding from you, they're hiding from themselves. Nietzsche once said, "Every profound spirit needs a mask." But he didn't mean it as an insult, he meant it as a warning. Never confuse the mask with the person. Truth 1. Everyone wears a mask. Everyone wears a mask to survive, not because they're fake, but because they're afraid. To function in society, people create a version of themselves they believe will be accepted. But masks aren't perfect, they slip, and the first sign of truth is tension. Watch for what makes someone uncomfortable. That's where the real person begins. Truth 2. What people hate reveals their secrets. What someone constantly criticizes often reveals what they're hiding. This is projection. The person who endlessly mocks arrogance may secretly feel deeply insecure. Someone who constantly points out dishonesty may be avoiding a truth about themselves. We often hate in others what we're afraid to admit in ourselves. So when you want to understand someone, don't just notice what they admire, look closely at what they attack. Truth 3. Silence reveals. More than words, Nietzsche believed truth rarely comes from talking. Language often becomes a tool people use to avoid reality. Notice the pauses. Notice when someone avoids a topic. Notice when answers feel rehearsed. Sometimes silence says everything. Avoiding vulnerability reveals exactly what someone fears. Truth 4. Loud morality can hide vanity. Be cautious around the person who constantly proclaims their virtue. The one always preaching, always correcting others. Nietzsche believed morality can sometimes become a disguise for superiority. Real goodness doesn't demand applause. The louder someone advertises their virtue, the more likely something is being hidden behind it. Truth 5. People lie to themselves. First, most lies you hear aren't meant to deceive you. They're lies. People tell themselves, "I'm fine. I don't care. I'm over it." These phrases often become rehearsed survival tools. Nietzsche understood self-deception not as evil, but as protection, a way to keep functioning in a painful world. And the inconsistencies in those stories often reveal the truth. Truth 6. Superiority often hides. Inferiority, people who constantly try to appear superior, are often hiding deep insecurity. If someone always reminds you of their achievements, if they casually belittle others, it's often a defense mechanism. Real confidence doesn't need to dominate, it simply exists. Behind many thrones, you'll find a scared child wearing a crown. Part 2. When the mask begins to crack. Once you start noticing these patterns, something changes. You walk into a room and suddenly behaviors speak louder than words. You see someone interrupting constantly and realize they're afraid of being forgotten. You see someone boasting endlessly and sense the invisible wound beneath it. You're not reading minds, you're reading the mask. and Nietzsche gives you the flashlight. Truth 7. Most actions come from fear. Most human behavior is driven by unconscious fear. Fear of rejection, fear of humiliation, fear of abandonment, fear of failure. People rarely act purely from desire. They act to avoid loss. If you want to understand someone, stop asking what they want. Ask what they are afraid of losing. Truth 8. Criticism is often projection. When someone constantly criticizes others, it often reveals their own hidden struggle. The man who mocks emotional people may be terrified of his own feelings. The person who shames others for appearance might secretly hate their reflection. Judgment often says more about the speaker than the target. Projection is not just defense, it's confession. Truth 9. False confidence can hide guilt. Some people appear extremely confident, but watch closely. You'll notice tension beneath the surface. Over-preparation, defensiveness, control. Nietzsche believed exaggerated confidence often hides unresolved guilt or insecurity. True peace doesn't perform. Truth 10. Exaggeration reveals insecurity. When someone says, "I don't care what anyone thinks," they probably care deeply. When someone claims, "I'm always happy," they probably aren't. Extremes usually reveal imbalance. Exaggeration is the ego trying to drown out doubt. Truth 11. The desire for control hides inner chaos. People who obsessively control everything often fear their own inner instability. When someone micromanages others, when they cannot tolerate uncertainty, it's rarely about power. It's about fear. The stricter the outer control, the more fragile the inner world. Truth 12. The louder the performance, the emptier the core. Look at modern culture. The constant need to be seen, the endless performance of identity. Nietzsche believed this kind of performance often hides a fear of invisibility. People create noise because silence feels unbearable, but the person who truly knows themselves doesn't need constant attention. They are already whole. Part 3. The wounds beneath behavior. By now you may feel something shifting. You're not just observing behavior, you're seeing patterns, and behind every pattern lies a story. Nietzsche believed behavior is not random. It grows from wounds. Truth 13. People speak from pain, not logic. Most people believe their opinions come from logic, but Nietzsche believed something deeper drives them: pain. Someone might say, "Love isn't real," but what they really mean is, "Love hurt me." People build beliefs around emotional wounds, then justify them with logic. Truth 14. Character is revealed through power. Over the week, if you want to understand someone's character, watch how they treat those with less power. Anyone can respect authority, but true strength appears when compassion is possible. Someone who shows kindness to vulnerability is someone who has already fought their inner battles. Truth 15. The fear of being forgotten creates attention seekers. Some people desperately need attention. Every story, every outfit, every entrance into a room. At first it may look like confidence, but often it's the opposite. It's the fear of being invisible. The ignored child becomes the adult who refuses to disappear. Truth 16. The people we attack are often the ones we envy. Sometimes criticism hides admiration. People attack qualities they secretly wish they had: confidence, freedom, success. Envy is often unspoken desire. Recognizing this makes you immune to petty hate. Truth 17. People repeat their childhood. People rarely change as much as they repeat. They replay the roles they learned early in life. The unheard child becomes the adult who interrupts. The emotionally punished child becomes distant. The child who had to earn love becomes someone who performs constantly. Behavior is biography. Truth 18. Patterns are confessions. The final truth is simple. Patterns reveal everything. Someone who disappears when relationships get serious. Someone who works endlessly to avoid stillness. Someone who flirts with everyone but connects with no one. These behaviors are not random, they are confessions, silent messages saying, "This is how I protect myself." Final reflection. By now you may notice something powerful. These truths are not just about reading others, they are mirrors. Every pattern you notice in someone else also exists somewhere within you. Nietzsche didn't want us to judge people. He wanted us to understand them, because the clearer you see others, the clearer you see yourself. And once you begin seeing beyond the mask, you never go back.